I don't know, I think I do.
Before we go into our wedding breakfast, we are going to do a few toasts and speeches. So it is my privilege to introduce the father of the bride, Kevin.
Thank you. Is that on? Good afternoon, everybody. Right, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to have a great party today. Or what? Nobody say what. Now, my name's Kevin, and I'm famous for absolutely bugger all. But I did play a small part in the creation of this beautiful young lady here. Not only is she beautiful, but she's highly intelligent.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, she's a great mother, daughter, and friend. She also, sorry, it is on. She also tells it as it is, and she's also a very, very good businesswoman. And she's taken Cocoa and Barley a long way since she first started it. And I'm sure it's got a long way to go, and she's got other ideas in mind as well. She's also on the cusp of fame. She's awaiting confirmation from the Guinness Book of Records for the most poo picked up in a calendar month. 4.7 tons. I think we ought to also give an honorary mention to Stacey, her sidekick. She ran her a very close race and came very close with a late spurt at the end. But as we all know, as dog walkers, it's very hard to pick a spurt up. Now I'd like to come on to a subject which I consider myself to be an expert on, Ben Walker. Or as Jess calls him, BG Ouija. Now, I can describe Ben in one word, and that is a gentleman. And I've known Ben since he was a schoolboy, and I'll never forget the first time I saw Ben. He strutted into the house. He had black winkle picker boots, skin-tight black jeans, a black leather belt, white shirt, chest hair like a burst mattress. Full beard and hair slicked back like Poldark. I said, Jess, he's a bit old for you, isn't he? She says, no, Dad, he's only 12. I said, where's he from? She said, I think they came from up north originally. I said, where? Siberia? Anyway, after that, we didn't really see anything of him then for quite a few years. And when he reappeared again, he informed us that they were actually going out together. And of course, like all dads, you try to give him a bit of interrogation. And I asked him what he was doing for a job. And he informed me that he was a trainee barrister. I thought, absolutely fantastic. This is going to come in really handy for my eldest lad. Who needs a lawyer on a monthly basis. Anyway, 2 weeks later I was in Costa Coffee and he popped up from behind the counter with a tub a tub of chocolate sprinkles. I said, Ben, I thought you was a trainee barrister. He says, no, Kev, no, no, barista. I says, what's a barista? He says, I'm in charge of that machine there. And I looked over and there was this big silver machine and it was like blowing steam out the top and making strange gurgling noises. And knowing what Ben's like with machine, I just said, can I have a Coke? Anyway, as luck would have it, shortly after this, my wife, who worked for Dackerson and Hartley's, a position came up for a trainee estate agent. And it was quite lucky, really, because there was only 2 people there for the actual interview. One was Ben, the other was a dyslexic hog carrier. Ben got the job because he spelt his name right. And I think it's fair to say that he slotted into the position like a wool sock in a well-worn sea boot. And his career progressed from there. And now he runs a branch of Holroyd's. And we're all very proud of him. But the icing on the cake, the cherry on the bun, the diamond on the tiara, arrived 2 years ago. And after 8 months of worry and anxiety, he came along, a healthy, happy, gorgeous little boy. And he goes by the name of Wilf. And all I can say is that I think that he made Jess and Ben's life complete. And I would like us all just to raise a glass to Jess, Ben and Wilf. And now I'd like to pass the microphone over to Jess.
Hello, Kev.
Hi everyone. I don't know why I opted to do this now. To be quite honest. And if I am shaking a little bit, I am nervous and I am a bit chilly. I feel like we need the door open because Ben's probably sweating. So yeah, I'm afraid I haven't managed to memorise anything, so I've got my phone here, so I'm just going to be reading off that. But yeah, so thank you all for being here. Hello, Wilfred. He's looking at me. It's mummy. Yeah, I'm going to try and keep this short, to be honest, because obviously there's quite a few of us that are going to be speaking. But I wanted to thank everybody and say that obviously everyone here is so special to me and to Ben. And it means the world to us that you've obviously taken the time to be here with us today. Sorry, nervous.
Okay,
so, I know there's going to be lots of thank yous as well, so don't think I'm rude, I'm not going to thank everybody. Literally, individually, just because there's so many of you that obviously have impacted our lives in so many ways, and that's why you're all here. So, one thing I would like to say is to thank people for the love and support that you've shown me over the last few years, and... Personally navigating the past few years through pregnancy and being a new mom and the business and everything through the pandemic. It was tough, and you've all been so amazing to me, and Don't start, I'm going to say off. You've all been just so supportive, and so thank you. And all of you, I'm sure you know who you are that are here and who have like personally just helped me through everything. So thank you. Now I can't see what's on. I don't need my glasses. They'll be worse. So, now the next bit of my speech, to be honest, I was going to talk about my nana and my mum. My nana, but sadly my nana can't now be here today. And yeah, I would love just to raise a toast to my nana.
Cheers.
So thank you. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. I'm just going to go straight on to you, Benjamin. Oh,
I've got to do this after. I don't know how I'm going to do it, by the way. It's all right, darling. Thank you.
So, last but not least, I would like to say a few words about my husband. Benjamin.
Yes.
I knew I had to make a speech today.
I normally get in trouble when she starts with Benjamin, by the way. So, I hope this is good.
It is good, I promise. I'm not embarrassing you today. So, yeah, I knew I had to make a speech today because, quite frankly, I felt it was only right that I try and let everybody in this room just know just what you mean to me and how special you are. We've been pretty inseparable since you bought me a drink at Tom's 18th over 13 years ago. So thank you, Tom. I was blonde, had terrible clip-in extensions, and you looked like a young brunette Justin Bieber. Although you did have a ridiculous amount of facial hair, and I had very teeny tiny boobies.
Yeah, you did. Not anymore.
Anyway.
Good, well, money well spent.
Anyway, after... Jesus. I've totally lost track now. Just bear with me a moment there. Anyway,
try and bring the room up here there.
so after many years together, many hairstyles, and many adventures. So after many adventures, we found ourselves on the greatest adventure of all, and that was becoming parents. I didn't think it was possible to love you more, but seeing you with Wilf, my love grows for you every day. You are just the most amazing father, friend, provider, and role model to Wilf, and we are so lucky to have you. The past year... The past year, you threw yourself into a little project that we all know as Wilfie Cottage, and a home that will hopefully be Wilfie's one day, and you quite literally put blood, sweat and tears into. You also managed to rope in the whole family, so thank you Paul, Tom, Ash, Dan, Dad for helping Ben to finish the cottage. I was going to say, we'll make sure that Wilf knows when he's older who to blame for the dodgy tiling, the wonky woodwork, and the shoddy woodwork. Yes. So, but in all seriousness, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the man that you've become, the amazing partner, father, and everything. You always put me and Wilf first, and today this has all been possible because of you. You've given me a day that a few years ago I literally could only have dreamt about. So I would like everyone to raise a glass to my husband, Benjamin. So cheers.
Thank you, Kevin. To be honest with you, I was worried about your speech, especially when you were telling us there was no preparation.
Yeah.
And we all know how you like to talk. You've got some wonderful dad jokes. Sorry, that's very close. Wonderful dad jokes. However, thank you, Kevin.
It's okay.
And thank you so much, Jess. Good afternoon. There's certainly been plenty of hurdles, but we made it. Whee! And to be honest, I'm not sure who's more nervous about this speech, me or Jess. But I am going to do my best to keep it short and sweet, because after all, that is what you're used to. Well, I was wondering, was it going to be a tough crowd? Was it going to be a tough crowd? Thank you very much, thank you. Plenty more to come, plenty more to come. Thank you all for coming and sharing our special day with us, especially for many that have travelled from around the world. Although, again, it would have been a lot easier to do this speech to an empty room. Again, you probably can see my hand, and that's not me exaggerating it, by the way. And with that said, I wanted to get some quick thank yous out of the way. So, Jess, I'm sure everyone will join in saying you look absolutely incredible today. And I'm certainly sure that many will know that days like today don't just organise themselves. Jess has arranged everything from top to bottom, and again, I think everybody will agree that you've done a wonderful job. Now, with that said, if everybody can join me in the first toast of the evening to the new Mrs. Walker. I've been told I'm not allowed to do that. There's plenty of time left. Plenty of time left. To the bridesmaids, Lauren, wherever you are, there you are. Josie, Chloe, Charlotte, Lucy, and Yasmin. Hell, there's a lot of you in there. I'd like to see you all look amazing also. Thank you for keeping Jess sane throughout all the organisations, as well as arranging what looked to be a wonderful hen do, which I know Jess wasn't something Jess originally wanted to do, but I know from seeing the video of her slut dropping on stage, I think it's safe to say she had a wonderful night. Lastly, thank you for keeping her calm and most importantly on time for our special day, as we all know, timings aren't Jess's strongest point. And again, with that said, I think that deserves a toast to the bridesmaids. And to the best men. Now, I need to be careful here, and I've only purposely done little bits because I know these guys are following me, and I'm expecting a full roasting. However, Tom, who'd have thought that 20 years ago you'd be stood here by my side? After constantly fighting with each other. True, I ended up in jail for it. Fighting with each other. We now fight for each other. And there was never a question as to whether you would be one of my best men today. And to Chris, my brother from another mother. Julie, you're here somewhere. Thank you very much for raising such a wonderful boy.
I am.
Yeah. Our relationship is certainly not the longest in the room, but I would say it is the strongest. Sorry, Jess. In all seriousness, it's not often that you meet somebody at work that you click with like we have done. And I can only thank you for always believing in me and providing me with absolutely endless opportunities. To Chris. And for anybody that thinks we've hired doormen, I'd actually like to introduce my new brothers. Ashley and Daniel. Thank you for being by my side today, and I couldn't imagine our day without you. And you were absolutely right when you said it would be the best day of my life. The stag do was absolutely amazing. course, I'm only joking, and there's plenty more of this day to come. I put a little note on my phone here that I don't know what it's right because I pressed it and I didn't mean to. Apologies. Yeah. So if you could all raise a glass for the bridesmen, sorry, no it's not, for the best men and for the groomsmen. Thank you. That's the last toast. I promise you that. With all the ups and downs, the lockdowns and the cancellations, and everything else we've gone through, there's been plenty of uncertainty as to whether today would ever happen. And with that, I asked myself, why do we get married? Why do we get married? Yeah. See ya. See ya.
You wanted a new watch.
Yeah! Yay! Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jade. No. It gave me a little bit of a break to take a breather. Thank you so much for that. No, but if you really think about it, there is no real necessity for getting married in this day and age. There's no religious requirement. There's no cultural requirement. There's no legal, political, or society necessity. But then still, why do we get married? For me, the answers to this were simple, and the answers I'd like to share with you all. The first, a wedding is your single best excuse to overdose on all the bounties that life has to offer. From family, from friends, from food and wine, laughter, and most importantly, love. Secondly, the coming together of our families. And for that, I couldn't be more privileged. Here I'd like to take a second to address and thank our parents. Jane and Kevin, I know giving away your daughter, your only daughter, is never easy. But thank you for doing so willingly. Although actually on reflection, maybe a little bit too willingly, to be quite honest. No, but in all seriousness, thank you for raising such a strong, driven, kind, and beautiful daughter.
Thank you.
And always supporting us in whatever part of our journey. I will always remember coming to stay at yours for a few days, which actually ended up being a few years. And I will be forever grateful for everything you have done and continue to do for us.
Thank you.
I promise. I promise to love, to care, to provide and protect her. And Jane, I promise our family will never be too far away from you both.
Thank you.
And of course, I would like to thank my parents for everything you have done for me over the past 29 years. You have helped me through many challenges, and yes, I know there's been many challenges. But ma'am, there can never be a question about the love you provide and have shown to me and now show our Wilfie Jude. You have taught me so much that you won't even realise, from teaching me to drive, might have been at 15 years old, but from teaching me to drive to again teaching me to be a wonderful parent. Dad, you've also taught me to work hard in everything I do, and I admire you for absolutely everything you've achieved. You've taught me so much also, from driving to succeed to DIY, although I'm not sure Jess will thank you for that. We won't talk about the wonky pictures and everything else from there. And that brings me to the third and most important reason. Thank you, Sifsy, for that. That was a cheer. If everybody hadn't heard one, that was a cheer. Yeah. Third and most important reason. That's the reason of why I'm in favour of weddings. And that reason, Jess, is you. This is where I cry, by the way. I will do my best. I fell in love with you from the moment I first laid eyes on you, and I've kept falling ever since. You inspire me, and your mere existence has undoubtedly turned me into the best version of myself. Now, don't worry, I know there's still much to improve upon, but that will also remain a work in progress until the very end. Love you too. I'm trying to hold it together here. Through strength, pain, and perseverance, you've given us the most perfect gift in our miracle boy. And I will never be ungrateful for the sacrifices that you have made to make that happen. I could not be more proud of everything that you have achieved in yourself and in your business, fighting through some dark days and always coming out the other end stronger. Now, Jess really wanted to do some personal vows, and to be honest with you, as you probably realised, we both realised that we weren't expecting to do vows, but we still did vows as well. But Jess wanted us to do personal vows. Now, I wasn't too sure that I would be able to stand in front of the altar as you saw me again, an absolute wreck. I'm very, very surprised I'm holding it together right now, if I'm completely honest with you. However, Jess, if you could please stand.
Oh, good Lord.
Whew, deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. In front of our family and our friends, on this day, I vow that my mission to you is to always ensure that you know how beautiful you are, how infectious your smile, and I will always try and have you wearing it. I vow to shower you always with my unconditional love. When you are in pain, let me give you all the massages you desire.
Can I have that in writing?
I may regret that one. As you got from a response, she asked for quite a lot, so I might regret that one.
It's a hazard of the job.
Yeah. As long as there's happy endings.
Oh, jeez.
Whey! I didn't know where to put that one in there, but I thought it was worth it. Why not? When things aren't going to plan, let me provide you with guidance. When you're scared, I will protect you. When we are grey and old, I will hold your hand until my last breath. And I will do this whilst bursting with love. Jessica Jane Walker. I vow that my love will be everlasting to you. My wife. I nearly did it then. My wife! I'm not sure I really want to do this, to be quite honest with you. But this is where it comes to the point where I hand over to my best men. Thank you for enjoying my speech, by the way. So the first of the two is Thomas Norton Walker.
But for those people that don't know me, hi, I'm Tom. And for those people that do know me, please bear with me, because as you'll all know, I don't really like the limelight and I don't like being the centre of attention. This is quite tough for me, honestly. So here we are, finally at the little Walker wedding. I just wanted to give you some perspective on just how long of an engagement this has actually been. It's been a while. So Apple have actually dropped 10 different iPhones. Newcastle United have had 5 different managers. And Marvel have produced and released 15 different films since Ben got down on one knee. So yeah, it's been a long time. I'd love to tell you a little story about how I felt when I found out that Jess had said yes to Ben. but it's that frigging long ago, honestly, I can't remember. But no, seriously, I was very happy, I was very, very proud, and I was actually pretty surprised. Not that Jess had said yes, but surprised that Ben had actually held it together and managed to get himself down on one knee and ask her to marry him.
It was nearly a disaster.
Because as you all know, Ben is a little bit of a nervous Norris. Anyone that has spoken to him over the last few weeks will have known how much he was scared about doing his speech. But I'm sure you can all agree, he's absolutely nailed it. So, there was a lot of pressure on him, but he definitely produced. And also a little round of applause for Jess, because that's, off the cuff. Well done, Jess. You didn't have to get off the door. A little round of applause for Jess. And Kevin as well. He's nailed his too. And he's just made my job a little bit harder. I'd like to tell you a few stories about Ben growing up. So Ben wasn't always as reserved as he is now. As a kid, he was actually quite the show-off. He was very cheeky. He was very, very cute. Very much like little Wolfie. An example of Ben's childhood confidence was often portrayed in his one-man magic shows. So picture this. We grew up on a new build estate. There was around 12 other kids, Ben being one of the youngest. With it being a new build estate, there was obviously many houses that weren't quite finished. The perfect playground for us to explore and dick around in, but also the perfect stage for Ben to perform his magic shows. We'd all gather round, and Ben would try and make us laughing with any way he could make possible. He'd dance around, he'd pull stupid faces, he'd make silly noises, the typical things like a 3-year-old would do. But Ben, being the showman he once was, he wasn't quite finished there. He would often strip down to just his little green frog wellies and his nappy. He'd then proceed to run around the garden/building site, picking up whatever muck, mud he could get his hands on. And then, Ben, what would you do with all that muck and mud? He would put it in his nappy. He'd fill it up to bursting point, he'd jump around a little bit more, do a dance and go, ta-da! Let's hope he doesn't pull that one out tonight. So Ben became slightly more reserved as a teen. Being the image meister he still is today, he'd avoid any chance of embarrassment. Rocking his Justin Bieber style bob. His All Saints, local All Saints t-shirt, purely to show off his freakishly long chest hair. Ben thought he was the dog's bollocks. I assure you that he wasn't. Being this mature-looking 15-year-old, you'd expect him to be able to do a simple task, like calling a takeaway. Well, you'd be wrong. This was always made into a huge deal.
Still is.
For Ben to call in a takeaway, he'd have to go through his routine. And me, being the older brother and looking for any way to torment him, I would bags it, I'm not making a call. So Ben, never being one to turn down a takeaway, he'd go through his routine. He'd accept the challenge, and the routine started with meticulously writing down every single thing we were ordering on the notepad. 1 chicken balti, 2 rice, 2 chapatis, etc., etc. But not only would he have to write down the order, he'd have to write down anything that could be possibly asked of him on the phone. It'd be our address, 16 Fairfax Grove. Our phone number, 01323911651. And then in big letters at the bottom, his name, Ben Walker. Just in case he got flustered, he'd have everything prepared and it was all there for him. He'd then run off into a quiet part of the house, he'd lock or block the door, he'd rehearse the order and he'd make the call. As I'm sure you're all aware, he's an absolute pro at this now because just due to the frequency he's ordering takeaways. All that aside, Ben, I'm very, very proud of you. We've obviously had our ups and downs as siblings growing up, but honestly, I'm absolutely over the moon to have a little brother like you. You've always known what you've wanted, and as a result, you've created an incredible life for yourself and Jessica, and little Wilf. No, I'm not. I lost my spot on the page. I wasn't laughing at my own joke. Yeah, you've been creating an incredible life for yourself and Jessica, and I admire you in so many ways. If we weren't brothers, I know we'd be friends, and amazingly, we're both. I'm very lucky to have you, and it's great to know I'll always have someone to beat at go-karting. I do win, I do, all the time. So that's enough about Ben. I want to have a little pop at Jess. Now, only joking, I've only got amazing positive things to say about my new sister.
Probably lie, but fine.
It's not a lie, I promise you. For those people that don't know, well, actually, Jess, you just said it. Ben and Jess first made their courtship official at my 18th birthday party. Jess was 17 at the time, Ben just 15 and a half. But, so Ben being around 15, but with the facial and body hair of a 30-year-old. I've known Jessica a long, long time. And Jess, you were always an absolute pleasure to know growing up, and you've turned into one of my favourite people. You've been a great friend to me. You've been a great friend to me over the years, and I really appreciate the incredible relationship you've now formed with my wife, Chloe, and how the friendship has blossomed. You're a truly amazing mother to Wilf, and the best match and partner we could have wished for Ben. Thank you for just being you, because you are a truly wonderful human being, and I love you dearly.
Thank you, I love you too.
So apparently it's tradition that I have to shout out the bridesmaids. So I would like to raise a glass to these beautiful girls that have supported Princess Jess through the trials and tribulations of planning this wedding. Little raise your glass. Thank you, bridesmaids. You all
Bridesmaids!
And a huge thank you to Ben for asking me to be one of his best men. It's been an honour, and I'm so proud of the man you've turned into. You guys are a true power couple. I'm really happy for you both, and I wish you a lifetime of happiness. To Jess, good luck looking after Ben. It's not an easy task. Ben, just reduce your time on COD. Reduce your time on COD and do as you're told, and you guys will be fine. Please, ladies and gentlemen, raise your glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs. Walker. I'd now like to introduce the second best, well, no, the other best man. I won't say second, the other best man. Christopher!
I'm actually pretty good at public speaking, so I'm just going to start by saying that this is no surprise to me that I was asked to be best man today. So I thought, how can I put myself out there and be something different? Because those speeches, I think we should give a round of applause because they were absolutely fantastic. Tom stood up because he knows how good his was.
Mate, I'm
Nothing compared to me in about 10 minutes. So I thought maybe I'd do something a bit different. So you're going to have to bear with me about 30 seconds whilst I set this up. But I thought me and Ben have always been really fond of singing to each other. So I was sat in my living room about 2 weeks ago and I thought, okay, well, Ben asked me a couple of months ago in my house, said, listen, Chris, could me and you sing my wedding? And I said, no, mate, that's a bit gay.
It was meant to be later on in the night when I've had a few beers.
So I thought, hey, why not? So what I did was I found a guy on YouTube who did a backing track. I wrote some lyrics. And I've got a song for you. I'm going to have the words here because I'm absolutely shitting myself. So just bear with me 2 minutes.
Go on, Chris.
Testing 1, 2. Wife, can you just hold that? It's only a little speaker, but you know, little things do big things sometimes. That's what she said. So, who said shush? So I've never sung in front of anybody before, apart from Christmas Day. So yes, it was good, wasn't it? Elvis Presley. What do you say, Mark? I was like a fat Michael Bublé. Is that what you said? That's it. So whilst I'm doing this, please don't throw anything at me, unless it's money or underwear. Aki, I'm looking at you, mate. This is the way. You ready? Hey, it's Ben and Jess's big day. We're glad you all could come. It's gonna be a hoot. It's gonna be real fun. Sit back, put up your cheek and relax. Let's have a drink or 3. Because the drunker you are, the funnier I will be. Welcome, brothers and sisters and cousins and friends. Welcome to this most beautiful day. Welcome to the person that wasn't invited but decided to come anyway. There's always one. I'll start with the groomsmen and Tom and some bunch on my right. Let's have as much fun today as we did on Ben's Stag Night. No arm wrestling. And now the bridesmaids, I'm not even joking. Every single one of you looks absolutely smoking. I'm talking to bridesmaids, my favorite is the redhead. I'll see you later when that dress is laid on my bed. Come on everybody, get up from your seats. Let's have a good time and move our feet. 'Cause in the morning I'm sure we'll all be fine. But for the moment, let's drink old Benji's wine. Now to Jess, what can I say? You took everybody's breath away. I wish you happiness and good health. Ben's hit the jackpot and he'd say so himself. But seriously, I can see the effect you have on Benji. You are the whole package, a true beauty. Best mum to Wilfie, Coco and Bali. But now you're a walker in name and in job. I've lost the line there, sorry. I'll get it back.
Go on, Chris. Go on, Chris.
I'll get it back. Sorry. Now to Ben, he is my best mate, and everyone agrees he's punching well above his weight. met years ago, and down working Shipley, and straight away my wife said he was fitter than me. Now he rides in on his motorbike, but now the only thing he rides is Wilfis trike. When we opened Holroyd's, we used to listen to James Bay. The customers came in, they swore we were gay. But joking aside, I love you like no other. Each day that goes by, you're more like my brother. We can't wait to be in your life forever as we watch our children growing old together. Come on everybody, let's get up from your seats. Let's have a good time and move our feet. 'Cause in the morning I'm sure we'll all be fine. But for the moment, I'll drink those empty wine. So guys, I've got a bit of a speech, a bit of a toast in this, so if you'd all like to get all your glasses full, please. There we go. So what I'd like to do is, so ready? So let's raise a toast to the groom and bride, our most generous hosts we've had. Ready? I'll go again. To the bride and groom. So let's raise a glass from near and far, and let's not stop drinking until the residence bar. Because when the morning comes, we'll all be loving life. Ben will have lost his wine, but he will have gained a wife. Come on everybody, let's get up from our seats. Let's have a good time and move our feet. 'Cause in the morning I'm sure we'll all be fine. But for the moment, let's drink old Benji's wine that he imported illegally from France. I'm pretty sure he didn't pay any tax. But that's a story for another day. Let's all enjoy the Walker's wedding day. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.